Well, Greg, one of our two main events on tonight's Only the Strong Survive show here for Glory Pro Wrestling. And, well, this one between Gary J and Warhorse, it can only end one way, by knockout.
You want to talk about only the strong survive, and one of these two men might have to legit survive this matchup. I don't know if you're familiar with this little tour of death they have going on, but they have been having brutal contests everywhere they go all across the United States. It really began with a last man standing match at a company called 0-1, where Jake Parnell's face was legitimately ripped open by a turnbuckle. Gary J fish hooked him and ripped his face open. These two have hated each other ever since and are taking this tour of death everywhere that they possibly can, and it has brought them here to Glory Pro for a knockouts-only match.
The crowd really doesn't know who to get behind on this, as you might have heard prior to the match starting. They seem to like both guys, not sure which way they're going to go as this match carries on.
There's respect for both of these men. Gary J has busted his back for this town since he was about 20 years old. He's been doing this for a long time, but as you know, the old lion always ages out. And here comes the Warhorse, Jake Parnell, wanting to take that crown as the most hardcore, the most dedicated, the biggest heart in professional wrestling in St. Louis.
Into the front row, and somehow Jake Parnell holds on to Gary J. So what's your strategy here if it's knockouts only? You know
Jesus,
that you don't have to
run.
You know you don't have to pin the guy in the middle of the ring 1, 2, 3. You know that you really just have to get that blow in there to keep him from being able to stand back up.
I don't want to be anywhere near this. If I had to be one of these two men, I'd grab a weapon. There's no rules, there's knockouts only, there's no disqualifications. I would grab the biggest, heaviest object that I could find, maybe that big fat fan, and throw it right at my opponent.
We do have a stripper pole off to the left here.
Now you're thinking, brother. These two men, though, also big strikers. As you just heard, that smack Gary J let right across Jake Parnell. That's the one thing here is Jake Parnell keeps getting caught up in these striking contests with Gary J, and I don't know if he has a death wish, if we need to get him checked out, talk to somebody, but Gary J is the toughest striker in St. Louis. Jake Parnell has the advantage of a thick skull, though, and he's going to come in there and he is going to take it and give it just as hard as Gary J is. Just smacking each other in the face now. Good Lord. Brother, if you're a fan of the sport of professional wrestling, you might want to turn away because this is a fist fight. Listen to that. I don't know what's louder, the smacks across the face or the smacks across the chest, but these men are getting lit up here at Wild Country.
I want to say Warhorse got the best of that, but he's still moving slow himself.
I don't know how either of these men are still up and standing after some of the bouts that they've had, let alone here, ready to do battle one more again at Glory Pro. I don't know how they're doing it.
Big right hand by Gary J.
These men are at least doing it right. They know that this is not a match where a schoolboy and a suplex is going to be thrown. They are going right for the head.
There's no padding on the outside of that ring. If one of these guys are able to hit a move, that could be it.
There you go. The guy's just not be able to get up. He sits the Warhorse in a chair and starts lighting him up with those patented stiff robo-ginger chops. What does he got going on here? He's going on a little travel. Running start from Gary J.
And Warhorse picks up a chair and knocks him in the leg with it.
Looking for a powerbomb into the chairs. Oh my God! Oh my God!
That should do it.
I don't know what's going to be heftier.
That should do it.
The chair bill or the hospital bill, but brother, that's it. It's over.
Gary's not getting up for that. No way that Gary can get up from that.
Man, you don't know Gary. Gary is some sort of being that was without a brain, without a heart. You could cut his head off. I think his body would keep going. Parnell's not done with it.
I don't think Gary J got up on his own there. Jake Parnell brings him back into the ring, throws him on the apron. They come back into your picture.
I like this strategy from Parnell because while you don't have to win it in the ring, it's probably the best place for him to be right now. He's in control. He doesn't need Gary J grabbing some sort of weapon and turning this thing around. Get it in the center of the ring and start punishing him.
Warhorse with a hold of both arms there, just stomps right to the chest of Gary J.
That's brutal, but I would like to see, as much as it sounds cool in this day and age, this is a knockout match. You need to hit him in the head. Gary J is in a bad way here, though, as the Warhorse is in firm control. Warhorse has a mean streak. He's going to show it here. He's angry at Gary J. He's been disfigured by Gary J.
Warhorse setting up for another vicious slap.
Once again, though, he's trying to throw him with the best in the game at it. I don't think that's a good strategy.
Gary J over the top rope on the apron.
You were going to see the definition of resiliency from Gary J in this match. I promise you that, win, lose, or draw. Big kick to the face from Parnell. He's setting something big up. Gary J says no.
Trying to suplex him into the front row.
If I was those people, I would move. If you think he's not going to do that, he will. What's going to happen here?
Gary J going to
DDT!
A huge DDT jumping off the top rope.
Gary J's got to get up to his feet now.
How much pressure is on the official in the ring? He's the one that determines whether or not the guy is knocked out or not. It's kind of his discretion to end the match.
I would assume they're going to have to answer a 10 count, but man, you're going to have to darn near murder somebody for them to not get up. There's too much hatred, too much competitive, too much heart in these two men. Gary J followed in with a big kick from Parnell, trying to one-up each other. Scouted. Big shot to the back of the head. That's how you got to do it. That ref needs to check on him. It might be over. Open up, big dive! Into the first row! This is exactly what I was telling you were going to see from Gary J. Just when you think that he can't go on, just when you think there's no more breath in his lungs, he's going to get up on his feet and start fighting again.
Both Gary J and Warhorse answering to the referee's call. Both saying they want to continue the match.
This is eventually the ref is going to have to make a safety move because they're both going to keep saying they want to continue. Every athlete wants to continue, especially two that hate each other like this. But at some point, one of these men is going to be able to, he's going to have to not be able to continue. Gary trying to climb back into that ring. Parnell following him from the bottom of your screen. These men start laying into each other once again. Oh my.
Gary and Warhorse both on the apron, fighting over the turnbuckle. Gary J with a kick to the head.
Each man seems to be trying to gain that turnbuckle. I don't know what each one is planning, but something dastardly is afoot here.
Gary has him hooked. Nope, Parnell gets out of it.
Gary J almost was up top there. Parnell now is. You may be seeing the patented double stomp from one of these men.
I'm going to dump you on the floor.
What is Parnell planning here?
He just told him he was going to dump him on the floor, so I'm going to reckon he's going to try and dump him on the floor. Not going to be that easy. It's not that big that easy for him here. I'm worried about these two guys' safety, man.
Hey, there's hardly any space on one side that he's...
Gary J gets rocked there. Parnell's got some distance. He can get up top if that's what he's wanting to do. Gary coming right back. Oh, wait, through the ropes. What are they doing here?
Oh my God! On the apron. And Parnell is rolled out. Referee's checking on him.
Elevated him on the corner turnbuckle there and drove him straight into the apron.
See the referee's call here. And Warhorse said he wants to keep going.
More importantly, the ref is determined he's able to keep going. Gary
J putting the referee into a seat in the front row, telling him just to stay there. These two want to finish it off one-on-one. They don't want any third-party official determining how this match ends.
But dear God, somebody's going to have to make a call at some point.
Gary
Parnell
J
trying to wriggle free.
puts him up on the shoulders, gets off.
Big knee to the face. Caught from behind. Both
Gary
been trying
J
to fight.
back up.
Big clothesline from Gary J. I can't keep track of this action. They just keep fighting back and forth. Crowd showing respect for both of these men. What are you supposed to do? You'd start counting here as if you're a ref, but I mean...
There's no reason. Both of them had answered the call. They both want to keep going. So technically, neither one is knocked out, and it's going to keep going until one of these men just... neither one's going to give up, right?
They're not going to give up. Look at them nose to nose like a couple of junkyard dogs ready to throw hands. Just disrespectful slaps from these guys. Seeing who can take more. Forearm blast now. Oh my God, so you don't want to throw chops at this man. Listen to that, Gary J getting the upper hand now. Jay almost challenging him to do better, waiting to see his rebuttal. Big forearm to the dome.
Right on the back of the head.
Gary J looks limp.
Warhorse just begging for this match to end.
He's on his feet. He's got him right where he wants it. This sounds barbaric. I can't believe I'm saying it in 2018, but he needs to drill his head into that mat and finish this. It's a claw. They've been attacking the head all night. If you crack a skull, if you bruise something in there, and you squeeze on it, maybe he just squeezes the man into submission. Maybe he passes out from the pain. That's what he's looking to do here.
No, Gary keeps the arm up.
The arm doesn't
match
drop.
is going to keep going. Gary J looking to fight out of that claw.
What did I tell you? Just when you thought he was done, just when you thought he didn't have anything left, Gary J's going to come back.
Nice combo, slap to the face, knee to the jaw, puts Parnell back on the ground.
Gary's trying to call it, say he won. He is slumped over himself. Referee was looking like he was going to call it there, and Parnell is basically begging him from underneath not to. This official's got to have some authority here. If he doesn't think that Parnell can go anymore, he needs to call it.
For the safety of these two wrestlers, too.
Parnell's about to turn around into one mean, standing Gary J.
Just so many vicious slaps.
I just can't imagine how much either one of these guys has left. Parnell getting placed up top. What is going on here? Something diabolical being planned by Gary J to try and put a finish to this match.
Warhorse up on the top turnbuckle. Gary J going up with him. Looking for that superplex.
Neither man seems to be able to gain ground here. Big headbutt sends Gary J down. He's looking for that double stomp. I see it. Double stomp to the back of the head. That could do it.
Gary J is out. Warhorse hits him right on the back of the head with those 2 feet from the top turnbuckle. And somehow Gary J is answering the call of the official.
The ref chooses not to call it, but man, he got double stomped right in the back of the head. He's reeling. Parnell needs to pounce. There you go. There you go. Be vicious. This isn't a wrestling match. This is a fight.
Pump handle slam.
Drops it right on his head. It's over. It's over. Call it, ref.
That's gotta be it.
Parnell looking for the call.
There's 1.
That's gotta be it. That's it.
Somehow Gary J keeps that arm up and keeps this match going.
But Parnell sees blood in the water. Parnell is in control. Big double stomp.
Double stomp. Gary J is lifeless out there.
That might do it.
1, 2. Parnell just begging for this match to end. And that's it.
That's it. Respect to both of those men, but Jake Parnell is your winner tonight.